She doesn't even know what's going on. You have these people, extremely dangerous and extremely violent illegal immigrants that have cartel ties living right next door. And this woman is in complete shock. She had no clue what was going on. She had no clue that these people were her neighbors. She had no clue that Biden and Harris let the devil to her doorstep. What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and most importantly, please make sure you are following me on Telegram at TD Media Group to help circumvent social media censorship and shadow banning. You won't miss a notification if you're actually following me on Telegram. The link to my Telegram is in the description box below and pinned in the comment section as well. And with the introduction out of the way, let's get into today's news. And today, we have to head on over to Colorado because Trump and Holman are doing exactly what they said they were going to do when on the campaign trail. Trump stated that he was going to go to Colorado and clean up shop. Campaign promises are being fulfilled because I believe it was over the weekend. It might have been Sunday morning, if I'm not mistaken, early morning, Sunday morning in Colorado. There was a Tren de Aragua party, a private TDA party, in which ICE raided the party and arrested 50 TDA gang members, removing the public safety threats away from the citizen population. Let's get into this first news clip first, and then I'll elaborate a little bit more on the story as we move forward.
Federal agents raided a party being hosted by Tren de Aragua early this morning along Federal Boulevard.
Over 4 dozen people have been detained, and our investigative reporter Tony Kovaleski started getting some tips to him late last night, got up really early this morning and headed straight there. Tony, thank you so much for being with us. You're coming straight from that scene. Can you break down exactly what you're hearing from those in charge?
Well, here's what we were told and what we learned, and actually a long-term operation that culminated last night started about 9 o'clock. Arrests started happening about 3 in the morning. We got there a little bit after 5 and show you pictures now. This was North Federal Boulevard, 6600 block. You can see federal agents, DEA agents, also supported by Adams County Sheriff. That's a federal bus where the detention took place, and that's where the detainees are walked in right now. You can see some of them. We're told by the DEA many were members of Tren de Aragua, the Venezuelan gang. About 50 people detained and being processed right now. They were taken out in that bus after a long-term operation. Again, the 6600 block of North Federal. It started happening about 9 last night. According to the special agent in charge, this was an invitation-only party for TDA. Okay. They were there partying inside. They did say that they found drugs inside, cocaine, and a new street drug that's out there. No word yet of any fentanyl or amounts of money, but this is an operation that we're told the DEA has been watching closely for several weeks. They moved in last night. The arrest happened, as we said, at 3 in the morning. They continued processing that bus, pulling out a little bit after 6. You can see it's a pre-dawn hour. We counted more than 4 dozen people on that bus as they pulled away. ICE was involved. This was a multi-federal operation, and they are now processing, looking at backgrounds of all of the individuals and making decisions on what is next.
Yeah.
Let this really sit on your mind for a moment, right? We were told that what was happening in Colorado concerning Tren de Aragua gang members taking over apartment complexes, we were told that that was a figment of our imagination. Quite literally, we were told that. Quite literally, we were told that none of this stuff was real and that it was actually happening, despite the video footage that showed otherwise, despite the video footage that showed TDA kicking in doors, breaking off door handles with huge machetes while walking around the apartment complexes with long guns out in Aurora, right? We were told that it was fake. And then to the degree that mainstream media was forced to admit it, well, let me make that correction. To the degree that the DNC mainstream media was forced to admit that it was real, they played it off as if it was no big deal. Had Harris had won, these people would have still been free. They would have still been free, terrorizing Colorado. Thank goodness we dodged a bullet with Kamala Harris. Now, outside of this, also in Colorado, I believe in Denver to be exact, two men with cartel ties were busted and taken away by ICE also. And if I'm not mistaken, they found about 130,000 fentanyl pills. That is insane. 130K fentanyl pills. Unbelievable. Once again, these people are just running free under the Democrats. But let's get into this story right now.
Denver 7 investigative reporter Natalie Chuck has been following the federal agency's movements all weekend long, including to a location today.
So, Natalie, DEA says two undocumented immigrants were arrested in southeast Denver today. They have connections, they say, to two violent Mexican drug cartels. So what is the latest on that one?
Well, first of all, guys, it's very scary information to have to break to the people who do live in this apartment building behind us. Those two people were arrested at the building right behind me. We are located at an apartment just off of Quebec Street and Mississippi Avenue. And those DEA agents today, most of them were here in unmarked cars, but still neighbors knew something was going on. This video, given to Denver 7 Investigates from an anonymous neighbor, showing a cluster of federal agents with the Drug Enforcement Administration. It was captured just after a raid at this apartment building. Two people in the country illegally were arrested and will be charged. The DEA seizing 130,000 fentanyl pills, cocaine, meth, and heroin.
Oh my goodness. I thought it was just fentanyl pills. They just had the whole gamut of just street drugs. Wow.
Leaving neighbors shocked at the magnitude.
So see, that's pretty frightening, you know. I have a 1-year-old, so it's not something you want to hear.
Neighbors tell us this is where that raid happened, and you can see the damage left behind. Look at this door ripped off its hinges. The apartment itself is right over here, and by later in the afternoon, you could see that the apartment is already boarded up, but the damage is left behind. You can see it right along the wall, plus right here, the lock to that door left on the ground.
In this, my neighbors?
Yeah, on the backside.
On the backside of this building or on the
this building?
She doesn't even know what's going on. You have these people, extremely dangerous and extremely violent illegal immigrants that have cartel ties living right next door. And this woman is in complete shock. She had no clue what was going on. She had no clue that these people were her neighbors. She had no clue that Biden and Harris let the devil to her doorstep. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah. You're shocked, clearly.
I am shocked at the volume.
The DEA confirming this operation was connected to drug trafficking with confirmed ties to the Sinaloa and Jalisco drug cartels.
This apartment complex just gotten worse, maintenance-wise, you know. People around, the stuff that happens, you know, it's just not good.
It's within the last, I would say, year and a half, things have changed in this. And it's too bad because I love my apartment. I have a beautiful little situation here. But I do think it may be my last few months here because I have to get out of this situation.
That is so unfortunate that you have this woman, an American citizen, who, despite the fact that these individuals were caught, essentially they were still effective in running her out of the apartment complex that she's lived in for so long. But I mean, I would leave too when you don't know that these are the people that, you know, are amongst you. And as the one woman stated, things have gotten significantly worse over the last year and a half. Well, what has been going on over the last year and a half outside of the last 4 years? Biden and Harris's migrant crisis. But it was over around the last year and a half that we really started hearing about, you know, Tren de Aragua and these individuals in Denver wreaking havoc the way that they have. Once again, we dodged a major bullet, a major bullet by having Trump in office versus Kamala Harris. Because as I stated earlier, and as I will end this video out, had Harris won, all of these people, dangerous, violent people, would still be running around free, living amongst you, and you have no idea. And the scary truth is, many of them, a whole lot of them, are still living amongst us, and we don't even know who they are. But hopefully, things will continue to progress forward the way that they are now, and the mass deportation operation will be successful. Things are starting off very well, and these public safety threats, as Tom Homan liked to say, will continue to be removed off the street en masse. And with all that being said, that does it for today's news. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video out on your social media platforms. And also don't forget to follow me on Telegram and Rumble, by the way, at TD Media Group. Both the link to my Telegram and Rumble are in the description box below and pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you all for your time. Until the next video, peace and have a great afternoon.